You know, blues music has great utility. I think everybody would admit that. You can do lots of different things while you're listening to the blues. But if you want to party to the blues, there's not a better band in history than Magic Slim and the Teardrops, and I will close it. To induct Magic Slim, please welcome Marty Salt.
Magic Slim led one of the most relentless, hard-driving bands in Chicago blues history for several decades until his death in 2013. Born Morris Holt in Mississippi in 1937, he earned his nickname from his friend and fellow blues guitar ace Magic Sam. Slim was also known for possessing perhaps the largest repertoire of any blues artist, always able to pick up another song from the radio or the jukebox, enabling him to record more than 30 albums and garner dozens of Blues Music Award nominations. His son, Lil Slim Holt, is ably carrying on the family blues tradition.
Thank you. I've only got a couple of minutes because I could talk about Magic Slim for about 2.5 weeks. There's a million stories about Slim, and we can't get into any of them here tonight. I grew up in Chicago, seeing legendary blues artists. First, I go back long enough that I was seeing my first blues on the South Side, Teresa's, Checkerboard, Peppers, Lee's Unleaded. And then blues reached the North Side, and we were the first North Side blues crowd going to Big John's, Mother Blues, then Biddy Mulligan's, Kingston Mines, Wise Fools. Slim played these clubs 4, 5, 6 nights a week. And he wasn't as famous as The Wolf or Muddy Waters or Junior Wells, but he became my favorite and an audience favorite with his famous lump-de-lump, hard-driving, no-frills style. When we later opened Legends, Buddy and I did the booking the first 3, 4 years we were there, and Slim was one of my regulars. He was always the authentic, real-deal Chicago blues performer. Audiences weren't concerned so much about a name. They just wanted to see real deal blues, and you always knew if you had Slim there, you were safe. You know, nobody was going to complain about what he was delivering. Later, I was asked to book the first blues festival in Brazil. They had taken an interest in blues based on a couple of shows, no touring, but a couple of shows there. And they asked me to book their first blues festival because they didn't know who to book. So I put together a show for them with Buddy Guy, Junior Wells, Etta James, Albert Collins, and Magic Slim. Not a bad line. And it was not a tour. It was one show, go home. And so we were there, and I walked into Slim's dressing room that night, and I said, I want to say something. He said, what's that? I said, at home, you open for Etta, Albert, Buddy, and Junior. I said, down here, they don't know who they are. You all start even. I said, you think you're in their league? Then go out there and show them what you can do. All 5 of them did fabulous shows, and all 5 of them were super well received and hits. But 2 months later, when the promoter from down there called me and said he wanted to follow up the festival with a tour, I said, okay, what are you thinking? He says, I want Magic Slim back. Considering the company he appeared in the first time, I thought that was a pretty good recommendation or sponsorship or endorsement, whatever you want to call it. The Brazilians couldn't get over the fact that here was this guy who stood 6'5" in bare feet and came out with a 6-inch straw hat on top of that, presenting a 300+ pound, 7-foot image. And unlike everybody else, he wore 2 guitar picks, one on his thumb and one on his index finger. So he didn't play quite the same as anybody else, but they loved him. They couldn't believe that he was real. And he became a well-known star down there from that show and others to follow. And every time we went back down there to play, he was invited to appear on the Brazilian's version, the Brazilian national TV's version of what we would call Letterman or The Tonight Show. They had a national TV show every night, and Magic Slim appeared on it 5 or 6 times. They couldn't get enough of Slim. He also toured and won rave reviews in Canada, Europe, Poland, Russia, and the rest of South America, and Japan. He not only was a great blues singer and guitar player, but as some of the other people who've been honored tonight, he was an entertainer, which is much more than being a musician. And he was a great songwriter. And carrying all these hats, wearing all these hats, he became a goodwill ambassador for blues all over the world. The other thing about Slim we should always remember is he made sure the Teardrops were always one of the top performing blues bands. They had various incarnations, but they were always first rate. They were, as far as the Blues Foundation here in Memphis, they are by far the most nominated Blues Band of the Year category. They were nominated 9 times in the last 12 years. Nobody else, I think, went beyond 2 or 3. And you always knew if you were a Teardrop that you made the grade. His own son, Shawn, who has now made the grade, took a long time before he could be a Teardrop. But Slim brought him along, and he turns out to be a chip off the old block. He's not here tonight, and we apologize for that, but he started another tour in Europe yesterday. But he's carrying the torch, and he's got the credentials. He's good. If you want a taste of Slim, and you can't have Slim anymore, it wouldn't hurt to see Shawn Holt and the Teardrops. And we took away the Little Slim name because there's only one Slim. So it's Shawn Holt, and he's going to thank you on video if I ever stop talking. But I want to thank you on behalf of his family, and I want to thank the Blues Foundation for sponsoring us. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shawn Holt. I'm the son of Magic Slim. I'm sorry I can't be there with you guys this evening. By the time you see this, I'll probably be in Germany, living this wonderful legacy that my father's left. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone that had a part of this. It really means a lot to myself and my family. And such a proud moment. Again, I wish I can be there to accept his induction award. But the show must go on. Thank you guys. Peace, love, and blues.